Season greetings and welcome to episode 196 of Two Balls and a Mic. My name is Tony Sanchez, along with Alejandro El Tío Villaseñor, San Diego's #1 soccer instigator and reporter. Keeping it cool in a shark outfit. Halloween episode. We're going to go ahead and get right to it. U.S. women's national team beat Colombia 3-0. It's in Snapdragon Stadium. Local product. Mia Fishel scores her first goal for the women's national team. Also, Jaden Shaw from the San Diego Wave gets her first goal as well. Horan getting that second goal to make it 3-0. We're also going to go ahead. Yep. Golazo. We're also going to go ahead and preview this Wave semifinals against OL Reign. This can be a showdown of showdowns. Morgan versus Rapinoe. This could be potentially Rapinoe's final match. We'll see what ends up happening at Snapdragon for that one. That date is going to be November 5th. We're going to touch about MLS. MLS has an event coming up on the 9th that is not for the public, but it is something that's going to be developing part of their story. They are also unraveling their stories with DJ Beto. We all know who's a DJ at the event. Also, will Landon and Donovan join the MLS group, SDFC? We're going to go ahead and see about that. Albion making the semifinals, beating Maryland in penalties 0-0. Exciting 0-0 match in that one. We're also going to go ahead and touch a little bit on, what this MLS playoff in general means for the greater good, because we have to be incredibly well-versed. Chiva not getting the memo that it was casual Halloween episode today. Just went all out.
Tony told me, hey, yeah, Halloween episode, bring the shark costume, why don't you? And I said, all right, cool. You just fucking put on a Mario hat? You made me wear this? And you just put on a freaking Mario hat?
It's okay, dude. Here.
I cannot stand with this bully. Are you going to put on a mustache or something?
No, just for you. Just for you.
What are you doing? Like, not even overalls or like...
I was going to change into my John Cena hat and be John Cena for a bit.
Oh, my gosh. I can't stand you. Now I'm going to do the whole episode in this thing.
No, please
You guys
don't.
let me know in the chat. Should I just keep this shark costume the whole episode? We're going to be talking about some serious like stuff that happened. And
you don't have any fingers. For those listening,
you should really watch on YouTube.
Chiva, yeah, 100% watch on YouTube. Mondays, every Monday at 8, unless there's a spirit that goes through the
sorry for anyone that was waiting. I was watching
stream
on time.
But season greetings to everybody. Third time's the charm. Yeah, I agree. Procrastinating Puma. Third time is the charm. Season greetings, says Jeffrey Abramovitz. Chiva repping the San Diego Jaws, old school name. Good crest. Maybe potentially and
You like Jaws, the movie?
no.
Why?
I don't like scary movies.
That's
because
not a
they're
scary
boring.
movie.
That's a scary movie.
How is that a scary?
Because it traumatized so many people throughout the world about.
It's a nature movie. Megalodon? Is that a scary movie?
Yeah.
No, it's not. That's
Sharknado?
It's. I've never seen Sharknado.
Sharknado is terrifying. That can actually happen.
MLS playoff format is silly. We are going to talk a little bit about the MLS playoff format as we are trying to dive into MLS, especially next season. With the MLS theme coming. But the first thing we're going to dive into is the U.S. women's national team, which I feel like I should take off the shark costume.
All right. So, yeah, just go ahead and take off the shark costume. We'll here, I'll switch it over to me while you do that. I can't, go with Mario on, not have this fabulous haircut. All right, so the women's national team, they played against Colombia American sports just seem to love repeating team versus team type games at this point. So Colombia tied 0-0 earlier in the week against the women's national team. And so they came back here to San Diego over at Snapdragon. It was going to be a big event. It was announced. I think we broke the news for that, actually.
You had sources.
Sources had told me that we were going to go ahead and do that. But it was really cool having this opportunity here. Unfortunately, we were sort of limited as an outlet for one person. It's fine as long as somebody gets to go from us. I think that's...
So I took initiative and decided to go, even though I know you did want to go.
I know you were under the bus, Chiva.
No. I know you were busy with
as
a lot of plans as a best man for your best friend's wedding. Congrats to your best friend. How did that wedding go?
It was all right. It was all right.
That's cool.
I love them. but
cool.
you know,
Nice.
wedding match.
Did you have fun? That's what's important. Did you have a good time?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah,
Did you enjoy yourself?
I enjoyed the time. It was at the Prado. It was pretty neat.
Nice.
Nice center of San Diego there. So
that's cool. Expensive wedding then.
I didn't pay. Well,
yeah. You're like, I paid
actually
with my blood, sweat, and tears
and money. Also want to shout out before we go into it, our boy Fabian Legend. He is the I guess the CEO of the Locals, the name of the soccer team at Evo Street down in Barrio Logan. You're familiar with Evo Street if you watch that any MLS SDFC video that gets produced. Is that little canchita, la canchita. Their team is actually comprised of some of the players that play in Soccers too. We'll get into what Soccers is going to mean for me, at least moving forward. We're going to go ahead and just break that news. But I want to shout out this great kit. Has the
la canchita, shout out Tolito.
Look. The crest looks like the National City Mile of Cars because the guys from National City.
That's a nice looking crest.
Isn't that a nice looking crest?
Is this a nice looking crest? I'll tell you this. I like that better.
I mean, yeah, I'm from that. Yeah, no, that's Mile of Cars, National City, Machete. It's a great kit.
Oh, but it's not very diverse. But whatever. So yeah, we're talking about the U.S. national women's national team. They did play on Thursday, like you said. It was a snooze fest 0-0 match where. Not much action happened at all.
Mm-hmm.
For this match for Colombia, Caicedo wasn't available. Real Madrid star. She was on her way to Paris to be at the Ballon d'Or ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the reason why she wasn't available for this match. A lot of people wanted to go see her play. Anytime you have a player that represents Real Madrid, people are going to show out to watch that player. However, that wasn't the situation now. But it was a good matchup overall. It was a good crowd. I think it was 16,000 people.
16,000 people.
Which is not bad for an afternoon. We all know Snapdragon is just not the place to go on a hot, sunny day. And, I mean, we're always completely honest here. We're still getting to know a lot of these players, even for the national team. And there's a new wave of players as well coming in. But yeah, Murphy on goal. I mean, you see Alex Morgan is up on top. Trinity Rodman has been a rock star this season, just 21 years old. Sophia Smith back in the starting lineup as well. And just, veteran seasoned players who are still in their prime, getting to their prime, or just barely starting up as well. Mm-hmm. Naomi Girma in the center back position next to Cook, who they're gonna face each other on next week Sunday. So
which is really cool.
That's gonna be super cool. I talked to Naomi about it. I have a video of it.
We'll get to it right now
for sure. But yeah, this was the starting lineup, and I mean Horan, like you said, a veteran player, already with over 100 caps. Mm-hmm. So what else can you say? This should be a goliza. You expect the national team to just kind of like run over Colombia for sure, especially without Caicedo. But that wasn't the case. Like, they start out and they went more with veteran players this time, but the first half was just very, very, very bland. And they had a couple shots on target. I think the biggest one was Alex Morgan just kind of getting a shot that ended up hurting the goalkeeper's wrist. But for the most part, it was just kind of like easy headers and nothing too dangerous from the U.S. Colombia just absolutely had no shots on target or any shots at all in the first half. But, I mean, it was like strange to seeing like players like Morgan and Sophia Smith struggle against this Selección of Colombia. Mm-hmm. So to see that, you kind of just picture, man, you have Mia Fishel on the bench. You have Jaden Shaw on the bench, who we've seen placed many, many times in person already. Why don't you give him a chance? Like, let him get some playing time.
Yeah.
And that's kind of exactly what happened right at halftime. And you saw Jaden Shaw and Big Fish coming on.
Yeah, and it's that changing of guard, right? So you have a World Cup that wasn't very successful for the standards of the U.S. women's national team, and so you really have to. It's the end of a cycle for a lot of players, right? Like, Morgan's on her way out. Horan, again, a veteran, but you have these starlets that are coming up. Naomi Girma is still incredibly young, but solid. That's going to be the future of the center back in that case. But no, like you're saying, yeah. So Mia Fishel and Jaden Shaw coming in first camps for them. with the U.S. women's national team. First couple minutes.
They got called up last month.
Last time,
but I mean, I think they each had one cap, barely. Like they each got like under 30 minutes. And this was gonna be the first time they get kind of like a whole half shift, right? And as soon as they came on, it just felt electrifying. Up on top, it felt different. You had Rodman up on one wing. You had Big Fish at the 9, and then you had Jaden Shaw playing on the other wing. And the connection that they seem to be having was just special. And you can feel like, hey, you know what? I think for the next World Cup, if these players continue the way they're playing, it's gonna be a World Cup for the U.S. again. And that's the vibe I was getting. Mia Fishel gets her debut goal with the U.S. national team, and it's here in her hometown. You know, I mean, just raised like around National City area, Mission Valley area, and just known to be a talent from a very young age. And she said it herself, right? It was special to get to score in front of my family here at home. So that alone just kind of like tells you how special she is. I mean, Jaden Shaw also came in, and she gets a goal as well later, which we're going to get to. But, I mean, this cross was great, and Big Fish just finishes, and then Horan with this cross from Fox. Emily Fox just managed to get a good cross in, and, I mean, it's a great goal, and you're just like, oh, shit, like, hell yeah. This is what the U.S. should have been doing from the start of the game. They should have been dominating. They should have been scoring goals like this. Why was it with Alex Morgan and other talented players that are supposed to be the stars, they're not getting this?
So I mean, it's a different now kind of wave of players that are coming in. It's different play styles. The talent level is huge. The jumps, and you know we've seen this through the development and growth of the women's soccer game throughout the world. Right? You have players who are incredible across the globe now that are getting that push. And now because it used to be like, you know what, you have 1, 2, 3 players on a team.
Yeah.
And that's all you need. Now you have a team of players that come as one, and it's impressive the amount of growth that's been happening. And that's just continuing throughout, right? A lot of the discussions around this is like, well, there's top leagues, there's top this, and that's some of the controversy that was happening with Mia Fishel that we'll get to here in a bit as well. But the game is expanding, the game is growing, and I think it's moving in a direction where it's going to be incredibly competitive. And so while the U.S. is doing well and going in the right direction, other countries are doing incredibly well, right? Yeah. Spain, Ballon d'Or winner, World Cup for the women's national team. Some of those players, guess what? They played against Mia Fishel in Tigres, in Liga MX Femenil. So
yeah. And before we dive into that, I mean, just controversial press conference, but it's kind of like I was talking to a friend of ours in the press box, shout out to Cesar Hernandez, Cesar H Football on Twitter, just telling him, you know what, that's soccer. That's the beauty of soccer, and a lot of people need to understand that, where there's going to be a new wave of young players and new talent that are going to push the old heads out at one point. And this is the point we're getting to.
I want you to call Alex Morgan old head next time we see a fucking wave.
Yeah, I'll do it. No worries. And I mean, you had Trinity Rodman, 21 years old. Jaden Shaw, 19 years old. Mia Fishel, 22 years old. You had Alyssa Thompson coming in. She's just 18 years old. You have Sam Coffey coming on, and she's only 24. So you have this wave of young players that are going to be dominating. Like Naomi Girma's only 23.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm talking about, right? In a few years, for the next World Cup, this USA team should be contenders, as they always should be, at least in women's soccer. I think it's just a matter of time before the world gets to see that again. Because right now they look at the women's team for the national team, and the world just kind of giggles because they know they're not as competitive as they used to be.
Yeah, and again, just like you see it in the men's sport too, right? In the men's version of soccer, you see now there's teams that are historically bad. Now they, have the academy, the system that puts it together. Villarreal, like in La Liga. I mean, you're seeing it with Albion, the Premier League one. also have that type of growth and development where it's not just the Yankees of the world. I'm just throwing all types of sports at it. It's not just the Real Madrid, the Barcelonas, because even then, right? Even for basketball, Barcelona and Real Madrid have the two best teams in Spain. But now you're starting to see other teams creep in because of their sound adherence to the sport, and it's growing incredibly well. So Jaden Shaw getting that goal right there, 3-0. US wins this one here at home. It was interesting, right? So classic, so, your way, your way through Snapdragon, know the ins and outs.
You guys know we're bringing you in this journey along with us, and we're going to talk about what we experienced in the press boxes as well. It was a little disheartening seeing that not a lot of media was there to cover this match, which you have the U.S. women's national team coming back to San Diego since the Qualcomm days.
Yeah.
So it's a big deal to have this team playing in San Diego, especially having players that are about to play this semifinal here in San Diego. So you would think you would get a bigger crowd of media there. It was the same group of people that usually go to most of the San Diego. There were new faces for sure, media-wise, that cover women's soccer for sure.
Across the world, yeah.
So that was cool, but for the most part, in the press conference room, I mean, it was, 6 of us, 7 of us?
More for us.
More for us, for sure. And it was a press conference first, and there was no one really to walk us there. It was just kind of up to us. So, Abraham and myself, shout out to Abraham, we kind of took it upon ourselves. Hey, you know what? We're here at Snapdragon majority of the time. Let's just lead Caesar, who was his first time in the press box there. Let's lead other people into this press box.
Yeah.
We walked, and it looked like we were all a little group of people walking together and following us, and we got to the media room. And, we waited a while, and interim coach Twila came in. I don't even know. I hope that's how you pronounce her name. Twila?
I mean, for
Kilgore?
For you, that's acceptable. For your level of English.
So it starts out, and it's one of those where they have microphones, and you're going to get a microphone to talk out loud. You can't record anything in there, just voice recording, which I had on my phone. Luckily, they were able to send the recording that they had. Finally raised my hand. I've been raising my hand, waiting for people to go. You want to talk about the players first?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's dive into that then first. We did the mix zone as well, and we had to wait a while for the players. I got a couple of them, but the ones I shared was Naomi Girma. Just kind of asked. I mean, you can play the video. Naomi, you share the backline with Cook, and now you're going to face her next week in the semifinals.
Yeah.
What does it mean? Do you get an insight of her game, or what does that mean to you?
I mean, we've played together since college, so I feel like we know a lot about each other's game. I mean, it's just kind of how it goes when we have camp. We're playing with a lot of people that we're going to play against. It's how it's been all season. So, it's going to be a good game against Rain. They have a lot of great players, and I'm just excited.
And you heard the chants. The fans were chanting Jaden Shaw's name. What does that mean to you, knowing that you're her teammate and she's getting that praise today?
Yeah, I mean, I'm so happy for her. I think only her second cap and getting a goal, and just being so confident on the ball and really impacting the game in a positive way when she came in. It's so impressive, and she's so young, so I think the future's so bright for her, and I'm just excited to see her hopefully do the same for the Wave this weekend.
The young player saying she's so young. It's about another player.
That's how you know somebody's young. When the youngling is like, no, yeah. And then you, in the same mix zone, you then caught up with Chelsea's zone.
Yeah, you're
Blues. That's the thing. The Blues, up the Blues.
You really need to get a Fishel jersey.
I really do. Number 2 Fishel Chelsea jersey.
That'd be dope.
Sam Kerr was on top, but it's big fish. Here's me official.
Yeah, after you score your first goal, I talked to one of your family members, and he said that it means the world to him and to your family. Alante.
My brother.
Good friends with him, yeah. So he said it means the world to him, and he's so proud that you're able to showcase your talent to the world now. What does it mean to have your family support and then having them just see you play at home?
Yeah, I know it's a dream just for them to be able to watch me play. I know I've been hopping from UCLA to Mexico to England, so they don't get a lot of opportunities to watch me in person. So for them to be here for my first goal with the US Women's National Team is a dream, and it's all for them, honestly.
What do you think about Colombia?
Cool. What do you think about Colombia?
Yeah.
It's a wonderful country. Great coffee. So yeah, Mia Fishel. Again, we've been saying this. It's not just now. Like
I
you
think
have personal ties with
since her
family
UCLA
members.
time.
Yeah.
Since her UCLA times, her brother, I met him through another friend of mine, and we've hung out a couple times. And he told me, dude, like, remember my sister's name? Like, she's gonna make it. Mia Fishel. And I was like, all right, cool. And then, she got the golden ball for one of the U23 or no, like U20 CONCACAF Gold Cup or something, a tournament that they had, and she gets drafted to Orlando, and then she gets traded to Tigres. Kind of like refused to say, I don't want to play for this team. I'm gonna go to Tigres, right?
Yeah.
And she goes over there and tears it up.
Yeah, because I mean, it's the choice of going professional, in really being the centerpiece of a team that really wants you, and a team that's really good and competitive, right? Tigres Femenil is one of the top teams in Mexico, and
she had the chance to play along with Marta, and she said, you know what? No, I want to go be the star of this team in Tigres, and that she did, man. She won top scorer of the league with 17 goals in 17 games, and she wins a title in her first season with Tigres. She plays the second season, and they lose in the semifinals against Chivas, of course, and that's cool. But still tore it up and was, again, one of the top scorers in the season. And you just kept seeing her name pop up in the social media feed, right? Like, Mia Fishel, again, big fish, another goal, hat trick. And, it's just, you see this local talent tearing it up in the Liga MX and
in an attacking position, right?
Exactly.
And like you start to think like, because there was a time where San Diego Way was like, they need some.
We
sort
need
of
goals. I mean,
something.
Casey Stoney said it herself. We need goals, and we said, okay, Mia Fishel not available. What about Berkey?
Mia
She might
Fishel-
not resign with Monterrey. What about Berkey? She's available.
Berkey at that point, Christina Birkenroad, who plays at Monterrey, the Derby 2 Tigres, hadn't been called up for the national team. That wasn't even a consideration. We interviewed her, Christina Birkenroad, and she hadn't even really thought, like, I don't even know how that works to be a national team member. She then plays for now Mexico, but that was a chance that you have to have somebody here. You have a chance to have Mia Fishel here. It doesn't take an international spot also because she plays for the U.S., obviously. But she had been tearing it up in Liga MX Femenil, getting the championship, goal-scoring championship, being, again, campeona de campeonas, which is pretty much when the champion of a season plays against the champion of the next season, and then they just kind of have a king of kings, queen of
Mexico
queens.
has short seasons, so they have 17-game seasons, and that's why they do a campeón de campeones.
And she's only 22?
She's 23 now.
23, like...
Oh, no, 22.
22, yeah.
She's 22.
She's only 22, and she was tearing it up over there. And so we've been watching this development because we keep an eye on local players, and I watch a lot of Tigres Femenil, actually.
It's a fun team to
really,
watch,
It's really
honestly.
good. It's really good, especially, and you know what? In comparison to now watching pretty much 2 full seasons, right, of NWSL up and close. I've seen
And we've
every
seen Liga
NWSL
MX
team.
Femenil games
We've
live
seen it.
too.
We've
So we
seen
know how
Cholos
competitive it can
Femenil.
get.
There's a comparison there. It's comparable. So anybody who kind of says and starts throwing shade at the league of like, oh, well, there's a steep drop off, probably hasn't covered or seen Liga MX Femenil in a couple of years, because in this last 2 years, it's been ramping
growing.
up.
It's been
growing. So
And
much like the NWSL.
That's conversations we're having over there where, the Liga MX Femenil is on the rise. Same as the NWSL, same as women's soccer in the whole world. It's growing. And the numbers don't lie, right? You see San Diego Wave averaging 20,000 fans in the season. You've seen records of how many people are streaming games like Champions League final for the women's league. And like those numbers are not lying, and people are tuning in now.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing for the Liga MX Femenil. You can't say that about the men's side. The men's league is just kind of going downhill.
Numbers don't lie.
So with that in mind, right, that Mia Fishel has been tearing it up there. And the question had to be asked, why is she getting called up to the national team?
Yeah. And that's the thing, too. Like Jaden Shaw, okay? Jaden Shaw barely got called up. And I've been asked or seen people ask questions like, why hasn't she been called up? Well, she was actually going to get called up for the under-20s. But then Casey Stoney blocked that and said, nope, not right now. I need her because it was World Cup time. So she stayed here. She honed in that short amount of time, she played incredibly well. When Morgan, Dahlkemper, Van Egmond, everybody was at the World Cup, she was holding it down, and she did her best. There's a reason why at the end of the season they won the Shield, because they needed that consistency in there.
Well, she got the first goal in that game.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
And so now you have Jaden Shaw come back. Now she's available for senior team, right? So, okay, this is why she's called now. Mia Fishel is one of those question marks of like, well, she could have played in this last World Cup, and they took ¿cómo se llama? Ashley, ¿cómo se llama la Ashley?
Alyssa Thompson.
Alyssa Thompson, who was playing high school the year before, had 3 games, 0 goals for LA, but yet she was called for the U.S. Women's National Team to the World Cup. That's the inconsistency that I see, as far as anybody saying, well, they had a plethora of attack to go into this last World Cup, the U.S. Women's National Team, but
they didn't really look like it the way they dropped.
Exactly.
So.
That's a position. You're telling me you wouldn't want Mia Fishel, somebody who's scoring, and this is my argument again, because people are like, well, it's like Liga MX, Liga this and this and that. It always gets compared to the men's side. Pierre-André Gignac got called up for France while playing for Tigres and tearing it up just as much.
And we request that in Mexico too, right? Like as fans of the La Selección, where if Henry Martin's tearing it up with America and Liga MX, and you have Raúl Jiménez not scoring shit, you're gonna want Henry Martin in there.
Yeah, it's the guy
you
that's
want
scoring.
the player that's scoring. You want the player that's
the hot
informed.
hand.
Exactly. So with that in mind, I will go into this press conference, and I'm like, I didn't think it would spark up controversy like this. Obviously, my question was directed to the coach at the time.
All right, so I get this text. And it's like, uh-oh. And I'm like, oh, no, what happened? And then, like, I see you tweet this.
Yeah.
And the tweet, because, you're the one that asked it, so go for it. It's
Yeah,
your story to
so
tell.
I sit down and I just say, there's a video of it. I mean, I posted a clip, so you can watch it on Twitter as well. So I just say Alejandro from San Diego Football, because that's what we had to start presenting. Mia Fishel has been playing at this level for a couple seasons with Tigres Femenil. Why did it take so long for the U.S. to kind of like finally take notice of her? And you see the coach nodding. You see her saying like, yeah, she has been playing at this level. I mean, you can play the video
And she's an interim coach too, so it's kind of an interesting perspective where you're not asking
She didn't
her,
lost one of those 4 games.
You're not, you're undefeated. You're not asking her to really apologize for anything. It's just like, why do you think this person wasn't considered that you have called up?
Exactly.
You called up. Like, what changed, right? And so, okay, we'll hear you asking the question again, but here is Chiva from San Diego Football.
Alejandro from San Diego Football. Mia Fishel has been playing at this level for the past couple seasons with Tigres Femenil. What do you think took so long for the U.S. national team to take notice of her?
Well, before she answers that, I'm going to say she wasn't playing at this level because she was playing with Tigres and not at the national level. But you can speak to her talents.
Pause that there, right? That, my friends, was Director of Communications, Heifetz. What's his name? Heifetz?
Aaron Heifetz.
Aaron Heifetz. We're new to this game. We've been doing this for 3 years already, but not new, but
it's the first. It's the
first
time
for a U.S. Women's national game.
Yeah. And
But
maybe the last. Thanks,
could be
Chiva.
the last,
I'm
but-
kidding. Shouldn't be. Better not be.
From our experience, a director of communications does not answer questions in the press conference. He says, "Okay, you can ask your question now. You ask this question now." That's usually what happens. I've seen it at the Gold Cup final. I've seen it at Wake Press. I've seen it at Loyal Press.
Mexico
everywhere.
Press conference. Mexico,
Everywhere.
Panama,
I've never seen it, and everyone there was telling me that was out of line. What Heifetz, or however you pronounce his freaking name. I'm sure he's great at his job. I'm sure he's very well respected as he is in the soccer community. But to me, I was just kind of caught off guard saying like, hey, oh, wait, my question was to her, not to you. And to just, that kind of disregards everything that Liga MX has like to represent. I know you went off and tweeted as well, kind of like saying like, hey, like, this just kind of confirms this. And that's where we bring the point again, where it's just saying, hey, because she played in Mexico, you weren't taking notice of her.
Yeah, and then that's what the controversy is, right? And then the comments actually took off on the text version of this video, right? And so really going into it with them and just kind of pointing at, well, this is just confirmation that Vlatko, who was the coach that took the team to the World Cup, just has some sort of bias against or maybe has a bias for NWSL teams, an affinity for NWSL teams first.
I mean, that sure looks like it for sure.
I don't have an explanation for it. As a Chelsea supporter, Mia Fishel did not get exponentially better in 3 games with 1 goal. No, 3 games, 1 goal, great start, but there's a reason why Chelsea went out and scouted her in Mexico. There's a reason for the work that she did in Mexico. It's not for the work that she did at Chelsea or it's the work that she did there.
If his logic is this Mia was not at this level, she wasn't playing at this national team level because she was playing in Tigres in Mexico. Mm-hmm. Jenny Hermoso won a Women's World Cup playing in Pachuca.
Yeah.
What you have? That league has a world champion. Mm-hmm. The NWSL does not have a world champion right now.
Yeah.
So so that alone just kind of like sparked the whole thing where people just exploded with anger. Obviously,
let's hear it again.
Huh?
Alejandro from San Diego Punto Football.
You're just so
Mia
innocent
has
with
been
it.
playing at this level for the past couple seasons with Tigres.
And she nods in agreement.
Yeah, she does.
She nods, and her answer was fantastic. What jersey is that Machete logo? We'll talk about it here. Mansplaining, no. And honestly, it was
I got mad.
Clear. Yes, that's literally what this is. It is a mansplanation of why, there's no way that you could understand why this took place. Why? Because you more than likely don't follow Tigres. Like, who does that? Who follows Tigres? Who watches Liga? Well, actually, you're talking to one of the guys that actually watches and covers Tigres most closely in San Diego. You're coming here in San Diego and has personal ties. It's the most perfect dude to ask this question. And so again, Twila Kilgore was nodding in agreement.
Fishel has been playing,
and she gave a very fair answer.
The past couple seasons with Tigres Femenil.
Yeah, 100%.
What do you think took so long for the U.S. national team to take notice of her?
Well,
and then my question was, I think was he standing or was he sitting?
No, he's sitting next to her.
Sitting next to her. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Before she answers that, I'm going to say she wasn't playing at this level because
was not playing at this level. So 3 games, Chelsea, 1 goal.
She's at this level now.
At this level.
Yeah.
Okay.
she was playing with Tigres.
She was playing with Tigres. So?
Okay.
She could fucking be playing at Sweetwater High School for all I care. Chula Vista for all I care.
She's playing at Tigres.
She's playing at that level? Oh, but she's playing at Tigres.
Not at national team level.
Liga Mec.
Not at the national level, but you can speak to her talents.
But
you see her looking at him like, dude, wait, what? What's going on?
Yeah.
But let's hear her answer, because her answer was very fair, and she answered as honest as she could.
Just a second,
I think I know we were watching Mia with Tigres, and she did a great job with them. And we also had some other talented forwards in the mix, and it wasn't the right time for the coaching staff at the time to bring her in. And I think that she's benefited a lot from her time at Tigres. I've known Mia since she was a...
Yeah, so obviously, mentioning we had other players in the mix. Yeah, cool.
And through the last regime, kind of and that was their decision.
Exactly.
And that was their decision.
Exactly, right?
True.
She kind of has to give this answer because, again, she's. I don't know if her goal is to stay as the permanent coach. Obviously, when you're an interim, you kind of want to do a great job and want to be in good terms with the federation. So
undefeated,
you could probably keep your job there. I mean, it happened to Jimmy Lozano with Mexico, and
somebody will be coming in.
Exactly.
Morgan already confirmed.
So
pretty much,
she's answering saying we had other players in the mix, but again, you bring up the point Alyssa Thompson, 18-year-old with 3 caps, no goal. I mean, cool.
It wasn't a defensive mismatch against Sweden that got you eliminated from the World Cup. It was a lack of offense.
Yeah,
you really needed somebody concrete up there.
a young player, very young player, and what she developed playing for Tigres is more. I think actually some of that back to goal and combination play underneath and things like that were well practiced with Tigres, and now you see her adding a different element to her game at Chelsea, and this is just part of her journey, and now she has a next step with her journey with us. But I know she really values that time at Tigres, and so do I. I enjoyed watching her there. I actually got a chance to watch in person before I joined the national team staff and after I joined the national team staff, and it's a great club. And she had a high impact there, and now she's on to a different chapter of her life, and both have an influence in the player that she is that is now with us.
Really cleaned up. Yeah. Like really cleaned up the mess that was just kind of laid in front 100%. Of her. And she took her time to make sure to do that, right? She took her time to let you know that, look, I personally haven't had a relationship with Mia. I've seen her grow up. She went to Tigres, and her time in Tigres was necessary and created this player that we have now that's going to be successful and is going to write her story into the national team and start growing. That's now at Chelsea. Like, you don't just play at Chelsea. You don't, right? Yeah. Like, look, Casey Stoney gets heralded for being a Manchester United player as she deserves, for being a captain for the English women's national team. Like, there's pedigree there. Now we have somebody locally who's doing that and in the biggest stage and doing really well. 3 games, 1 goal, very early on. But to completely dismiss Liga MX, Tigres it's just
blasphemous.
It's disheartening. It's disheartening. Really, and there's the more I keep doing this, the more I keep covering MLS, the more I keep covering just the machine of soccer in a professional way. It's just more and more disheartening of like why I wanted to stop playing. It's just not fun, and shit like this is just not fun because what are we supposed to like? If we work with children,
we do.
If a child interrupts somebody like that, I'm asking the teacher a question, and then somebody else comes in and starts before she is playing, like it cuts off our kid. Oh, hey, you have a let's just wait your turn. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, but let me get her answer first, and then I'll talk to you after. Like, if you have anything, let me know. Like, this is courtesy 101. I don't know what came over this individual at this time, if there's something that they're known for. I heard elsewhere, because of this fallout, that when they were contacting them for a story about the U.S. women's national team, they were contacted by this individual to try to spin and give a narrative of like, oh no, this is a story they want to tell. I was like, whoa, I'm just reporting here. Mm-hmm. But no, they wanted to push a narrative. So these are just reports that we're getting back. It's nothing personal with anybody really, but if somebody wants to insert themselves in the situation, well, you've succeeded in that. So you succeeded in inserting yourself in somewhere where it might not have been your place. If you have that expertise, they've been there forever. They've seen talent. They've seen this. They've seen that. But if this is a common practice, it's an interesting one.
And I did follow up right after everything, just asking, hey, like, does that normally happen in the press conferences? And the answer I received was, hey, you know what? Since it's an interim coach, he can kind of like step in and answer some things. Which, okay, cool. Thank you for explaining that. Now I know in the future that I might, if it's an interim manager, I might be just asking the question to both people that are up there, right? But yeah, it was a very interesting day. And again, we're going to be upfront with you guys. And the reason we post stuff on social media, it's our job to do it. It's our job to report and share the news. We're not doing that for shares, clicks, or likes or whatever. It just happened that tweet kind of like blows up, right? And people are quoting it, and people are pissed, and kind of shit's going down. But at the end of the day, we're doing our job. It meant the world to whoever it is that called me a reporter.
Hey, that's a good reporter there.
That was cool. That was cool. I've
that's
never
what you
been
are,
called
dude.
a reporter.
That's what you are.
Cool.
And again, anybody, whoever wants to say otherwise is full of it.
You know what's crazy, Tony? Other people couldn't have gotten this in the internet, right?
From what I've been told to my face, anybody can do what we do, and we can all find this on the internet. Guess what? I found it on the internet thanks to Two Balls and a Mic. Thanks
That is
to
true.
Alejandro from San Diego Punto Football.
100%.
So thank you to that guy. But yeah, if you want to go look at the quote tweets, if you want to have a fun kind of rabbit hole,
it's really interesting.
Again, it's disheartening because like we're coming into this and you know, always admitting, what's it called? Cuando no sabes algo. Cuando no sabe,
When we're new to the
ignorance.
topic.
Always point at the ignorance that we may possess, and that's what the situation was going into this. We've had 2 years of very intense women's soccer coverage, and it's opened our eyes to a lot of things on both sides of the border. But being mansplained something, like I get it. I don't have any brothers. I don't have any male cousins. It's just girls. And it's one of those things where you just don't see it when you do it.
Yeah.
And somebody has to point it out to you like, oh, well, thank you for mansplaining that. But like, this just is a very clear example of what it fundamentally is. Yeah. And I got to tell you, that doesn't seem like it feels good. So let's not do that. Let's not patronize people. Whoever
yeah, man,
you may are.
I felt very awkward.
Yeah.
And you know, I was told like, hey, man, like, don't take it personal. Like that shouldn't have happened.
Uh-huh.
And other media people were not happy about it.
Yeah.
And we've seen that on social media too, where other big media individuals from TUDN, from other outlets, are kind of sharing, expressing their concerns too, right?
Yeah. No, it's an international thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
It's reached multiple sides of the globe where people over in England are looking at this, and that's your player, and that's who represents you at Chelsea. So you're going to go to defend them. You have people who are in Tigres who are reading this and translating it.
Mm-hmm.
You are people, Adriana Terrazas, who covers through TUDN, translated our tweet, and that's kind of taking a life of its own right now. So all we do is provide the main course. We provide the meal. These are the facts.
And
Any opinions?
People keep bringing up that, you know, we're asking the tough questions and cool, and like
It's not
nobody
like
has
we're
the balls to
looking
ask
for
it.
it.
And that's and to be honest, I didn't think this was such a tough question
not.
to ask.
It shouldn't have been.
And to me, I mean, to me, man, I kind of miss Loyal.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would have played this past weekend.
They would have.
Saturday.
Would have gotten eliminated by Phoenix again, just like Orange County. Anyway.
But yeah, no, I don't think those are tough questions to ask. They're just things that go through my mind and your mind, and we're like, hey, I kind of want to know the answer to this. Let me ask it. There are times when we're like, you know what? There's a time and a place to ask things. Like we're not gonna ask certain things after a game. We're gonna focus on the players and the games. We're not gonna ask about this other thing. And that's something that we probably can do a better job in saying, you know what? No, we need to, if we want to ask something, this is our chance to ask it, and let's try to get the answer. And, you know, so we can have a story. It's something to talk about on the podcast, something to share on social media. But this at the time did not feel like people are going to tell me, man, you have some big balls for asking. It's like, no, what? I mean, I was just curious why it took so long.
Yeah, because you had been playing at a level. And again, people were defending what they said. Very few kind of interpreting it as he was distinguishing between Tigres level soccer and national team soccer, which is true. Club soccer and national team soccer are not particularly close. For the U.S., at least standard-wise, I get where you're coming from. I get where that comment is coming from. But talent is talent. And if you're killing it and you're destroying a league all on your own, then that has to earn something. And it earned absolutely nothing. It earned zero. There's calls for racism. There's calls for discrimination. There's calls for just people are for xenophobia, institutional xenophobia within the institution of the U.S. Women's National Team just because of this comment. And it can be a situation where, again, the dude just doesn't see it.
Yeah,
right?
no,
How are you going to tell a fish
just,
that they're in a fishbowl? They just see water.
Exactly, and it's nothing that I meant to just put this guy on the spot either. But that was his answer. And,
you didn't put anybody's fault. They put themselves. It's like when a referee decides to take over the game and they want to be the star. Like you decided to do that. All right, like this was on you. You decided to do these steps and to do that.
It's not a good look for the U.S. Women's National Team. Absolutely.
For the federation, it's not good.
You
for
know,
the USSF.
And it's something that they've probably been dealing with for a while, and they just kind of ignore it. Maybe they thought coming to San Diego was going to be easy peasy, but shit, here are two guys asking tough questions. But yeah, it was a fun day overall. The food at the press box was kind of like sandwiches. It was the first time we get to make some sandwiches, which is cool. Le dio flojera a la chef hacer comida, but
it's all good. It's
cool.
part of it. It was interesting. It's the first.
It's the 2 p.m. game. It's lunchtime. A sandwich is a good lunch.
It's not bad.
They had some Lay's chips for us, some cookies. It was nice.
This is the experience.
Some potato salad.
This is the experience of climbing the ranks and having a pre-approved for media credentials.
Next season, guys, we promise you, we are going to do food vlogs of what we get at Snapdragon. And even when MLS is here, we're going to stick to that. Here's what we ate at the press box for this game. Like, that'd be pretty cool.
But yeah, so me and Fishel, again, destroying it as a player on the field, going back to Chelsea and hopefully continue success over there. But man,
I just thought of a question to ask me official right now. But I feel like it would have been too soon. But just asking like, hey, like I know you signed for Chelsea, but do you see yourself maybe playing here in San Diego in the future with Wave?
Sources have told me that me official might not necessarily be a fan of what's going on in San Diego Wave.
I'm sources.
Yeah, go back and watch the other episodes. So
yeah, sources have confirmed that.
And again, that might have been at one point.
I think it's the saltiness of not getting first overall pick, but they went with Girma, and
it's not a bad pick.
It's not a bad pick at all.
It's not a bad pick at all. We can only guess at this point, and
I mean, Girma's nominated for Defender of the Year and MVP.
Mm-hmm.
So, and last year she won which one? The young player, rookie. She won Rookie of the Year. Yes. There you go. That's what it's called.
The young player rookie.
But yeah, that's a great transition to talk about the upcoming semifinal for the NWSL.
Yeah, some of the players that played with Naomi Gorma are staying here in San Diego because they'll have an important matchup this weekend at Snapdragon. Snapdragon is the center of everything.
And I was having a conversation about that, right? Where in a few years, if the MLS team does everything right and becomes competitive, San Diego and Wave stay dominant, like competitive, and win another championship, San Diego can really be the city of soccer in the U.S., like the central hub for soccer in the U.S., right? Especially if Wave win this championship, then it's really going to be ball in San Diego FC's court. Basketball reference in soccer.
Obviously, you need a lot of planning for whenever something big happens, and if something big happens in terms of a championship for San Diego Wave, I've heard preliminary ideas of what's going to happen for a potential celebration of what I don't want to jinx anything, what may happen, and it's dope as heck.
Oh, hell yeah, I'm excited. But yeah, so Sunday, November 5th, 6:30 p.m., San Diego Wave are facing OL Reign.
Shout out Rebels.
Which this could potentially, I mean, yeah, we're going to cover Wave, but in bigger news, this could potentially be Megan Rapinoe's last game ever. Her last game will be in San Diego regardless, the championship being in San Diego on the 11th.
Career will end in San Diego.
For sure. And this could potentially be it. Wave, again, finished first, winning the Shield and being the favorites to now win it all. But OL Reign also has kind of had an upper hand in San Diego Wave in the last couple matches that they played in the last 2 seasons. So this is going to be an interesting game. It's going to be a long-awaited time, right? Where it's been 3 weeks since they played.
Yeah,
it's been October 15th. So it's been exactly about to be 20 days.
And speaking of days, right? 9 days ago, we actually launched a tweet. We reached out to officials over at San Diego Wave just to kind of get a gauge of where exactly they were with ticket sales, because I'm thinking this is going to break a record on the 5th. So officials confirmed that this was 9 days ago. With the NWSL semifinal between San Diego Wave and OL Reign has sold approximately 20,000 tickets 2 weeks before the November 5th matchup. So this is two whole
and
weeks.
They just announced 24,000 tickets. Lower bowl is already sold out. I do think they can get to 34,000. Maybe it's complete sellout at 35,000. But that's only if you guys take France. If you guys that are consistently going to these games take new people and just spread the word where, hey, San Diego has a potential to win a professional sports championship.
Yeah.
The Padres couldn't do it. Loyal couldn't do it. Wave is in a semifinal right now, and they're just 2 games away of bringing an elite championship title to the city of San Diego.
Yeah, and so that is going to be an interesting matchup again this weekend against OL Reign. OL Reign, a team that has potential. There's 12 teams in the NWSL. They ended up beating Angel City in order to be in this position, right? San Diego Wave getting that first round bye, home field advantage. They wait to see who's going to win. There was that, sort of, what do you want to do? Do you want to rest up, or do you want to have the consistency of playing and then just lead that into whatever game is going to happen, right? So we'll see what that's going to be like. OL Reign, 22 games playing, 9 won, 5 drawn, and 8 lost. Overall, comparatively to San Diego Wave, it's not too far off. No, there's no necessarily clear dominance. Again, San Diego Wave was nowhere near first place at some point in mid-season, but they ended up figuring it out. But it's a good team that they're going to go ahead and have. It's not just Megan Rapinoe FC. They have a lot of talent on this team.
The thing about Reign, they do have a lot of talent, but it's a lot of older talent as well. I mean, I'm not too sure what their actual average is, but a lot of their starters are really over the age of 28, 29. I mean, Rapinoe's already 37, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. 38.
Yeah.
But
clearly you got talent like Rose Lavelle.
Yeah, but I mean, she's still injured, right? So I mean, she's coming off the bench and she's not fully fit. But yeah, the talent is there for sure. But San Diego Wave just kind of seemed to be able to have the upper hand. Anything could happen, especially in this league and in NWSL where you don't have anything guaranteed. Any team from 12th place can beat the first place team, and we've seen that happen. So it's going to be an exciting, tough matchup for sure. Make sure you're there. Make sure you cheer on San Diego Wave if you're a fan of Wave. If not, cheer on Megan Rapinoe if that's who you're a fan
into
of.
That. I know a lot of people are going to be conflicted, right? And it's it's the home, the U.S.'s
because you kind of want to see Rapinoe go out as a champion, right?
It's just complete the story, but then you get Alex Morgan to go into the championship final, sell out a NWSL stadium, have a potential to win the first major sports trophy in San Diego. That in itself,
that sounds like a better story.
And you have to go through Megan Rapinoe, and her story. So that's going to be really cool to watch. So again, that's going to be this November 5th. It's going to be a sellout. There's no way.
It has to be, right? On the other side, Sunday at 4 p.m. is going to be Portland against Gotham. So the favorites there are also Portland, but Gotham also had a phenomenal season. So, I mean, San Diego Wave is going to go into this final knowing who their rival is going to be potentially in the final. Same thing for Reign, right? So, if you talk to Casey about that, she's going to tell you that they're laser focused on winning this game. They don't care who they're playing.
Yeah.
They know they're the best team. So, and that's just her mentality, right? So it's all in this game. It's going to be interesting to see what the lineup is. You're obviously going to have Alex Morgan, Jaden Shaw starting for San Diego Wave. You're going to have, if available, Emily Van Egmond. If nobody has gotten hurt, obviously you want the back line to be Dalkemper with Girma, Pole on the left back, unless you have Kristen McNabb now fully fit from that hip injury. That would be great to have. Westphal at the right back, you're going to have to decide whether you want to start Korniak or whether you want to start Kolaprico.
You have options, though.
You have options. Mackenzie Doniak has had a phenomenal season as well with San Diego Wave. Kyle Carusa came in and just kind of helped out that attack for sure.
Yeah, that last boost that San Diego Wave really needed.
So, I mean, you still have Sofia Jakobsson, who you can rely on in any given moment. So, you have Amira Ali, who can come in as a game changer and just kind of tear it up. You have Barcenas, who's exciting and just can take on different players.
You just wait. Barcenas is about to do something. Like she has the trust of Casey Stoney in very important places. So, that's going to be an interesting thing to watch.
So Casey Stoney has options for sure. But they are going to rely a lot on Jaden Shaw and Alex Morgan for sure, where mainly on Shaw, just 19 years old. It has to be a lot of pressure But for some reason, I think the younger players in this league rise up to those occasions and just end up scoring.
Yeah.
And they just kind of see it as well, I mean, it's exciting, but I've been doing this all season. So it's going to be exciting what Jaden Shaw can do this semifinal.
Poppy Chow in the chat getting ahead a little bit, but I like where he's going. If Wave and Gotham are in the finals, we need a 2-balls cooling collab for the culture. I'm down.
I'm down.
But we'll
hit 'em
bet
up
something.
for
We'll do a
sure.
wager. But yeah, so it would be incredibly good. Rapinoe handing the torch to the next generation was a great story to tell as well. That's old storytelling, old wrestler folklore. You go out with your back on the mat, looking at the lights. That's how you're supposed to do it. But it's going to be interesting. That's going to be a fight.
He said ear porn when Chua says Jakobsson.
Oh, say it again.
Jakobsson.
You actually say it really good. This is like
I pronounce it in Spanish.
Jakobsson.
Jakobsson.
With a Y.
Yeah.
Jakob.
Jakobsson.
Sofia.
Sí, con la J es Jakobsson.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, that's what San Diego Wave have upcoming. Finally, they're gonna get to play
We'll be
again. So we'll get to see what happens. And I mean, I'm sure a lot of you will be at Snapdragon. It's not gonna be a daytime game. It's gonna be at 6:30. It's about to be sundown. The hour's about to change, so it's gonna start getting darker sooner.
Hey, Wave, you know who I'm talking to. I want to see Pyro. Pre-match, not just during the goal. Pre-match, I want to see Pyro. I want to see excitement. Snapdragon is all right, but when you add Pyro, it just makes everything better.
Yeah.
The
It's exciting stuff, man.
It's those the Navy SEALs that come in.
Oh, los que caen en el paracaídas. Yeah.
With the flag. Come on, pump the crowd up. Yep. So that's what we have here in San Diego, U.S. Women's National Team and Wave News. Moving on in. Yes.
Yeah, moving on to MLS, right? There's
All
going
right.
to be a media event not open to the public November 9th. And Tony, take it away. What can people expect to hear November 9th?
All right. So it's going to be November 9th. It's going to be what they're going to go ahead and have. The groundbreaking at the training facility for the Right to Dream Youth Development Academy will be held. Obviously, they've already announced it's going to be on Sycuan tribal land. It's going to be what they call a historic moment for the San Diego Football Club's history. It's going to be a groundbreaking ceremony with this cutting-edge facility.
It's going to be shovel to the dirt.
Yep, and then little scissors, little big scissors, and then a highly anticipated facility that's going to be coming in. It's going to be the pretty much the center of what this team for the MLS is going to be, the Right to Dream model. You've seen it with Northland and the teams in Egypt and Ghana with the Right to Dream model as well. So this is kind of how it's going to be. They keep saying it, right? Like, this is going to be historic. It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic for the community development talent. And it's going to be the epicenter of football innovation and excellence in North America. That's Canada, that's the U.S., and that's Mexico, for those of you who are keeping score.
So who can we expect to see there, Tony?
Everybody who's been at all these meetings, as well as MLS Commissioner Don Garber. So we meet again, Mr. Garber. Last time I asked him a question that completely dodged it, but it happens, right? These media-trained individuals kind of
my questions would have been dodged. Damn.
Well, no, you just get blocked by other people. No.
Mine's getting mansplained.
That's the boy. Cannot have him.
But yeah, big shout out to Beto, who got in a video for San Diego FC, who is looking like might end up having some involvement with San Diego FC. And shout out to him, right? We always like to see people in the community growing and rising up and seizing opportunities. So big shout out. It was a video about community. And he is the voice of the community. Being Frankie J's DJ
here in San Diego, California. Being so close to the border, man, and being able to go back and forth, the mixture of cultures, energies, the vibes, and more than anything, man, you know, the big love for soccer and food. San Diego FC brand reveal party. Man, I had such a great time, and it was such a dope experience to be able to represent what I truly enjoy, which is working with music and also having an MLS team, which is something that I'm passionate about because I grew up playing soccer. So being able to represent music and soccer in one festival, man, that was a dream come true for me. Bienvenidos and welcome to San Isidro. 18 somos uno.
Great guy.
Yeah, for
shout out
sure.
to Beto, your teammate for San Diego Soccer's halftime show when you got destroyed by Salzizzo.
Yeah, that wasn't too fun, but yeah, he's a dope guy. I mean, he used to play every Friday on 3rd Avenue in CV Brewery, but that kind of got shut down to noise complaints from people that live upstairs.
Things were too poppin'.
So now he plays live in the East Lake CV Brewery. So check him out Fridays.
So this is part of the Voices of the Community project that SDFC has been kind of going with. Here's another one that they had released before the Beto one.
My name is Mikey Hernandez from Wellington Jr. I'm from Chula Vista, California. I'm a multimedia artist that works with wood, leather, basically any type of media I can get my hands on. I wanted to do something that represented San Diego, so I wanted to subtly throw in some waves into my piece. The sunset over Cabrillo Monument, it was a wood piece, the only wood piece, so it kind of stood out a little bit. SDFC coming to San Diego means a lot to not only the artists, but the community. The crest blew me away. I felt like it represented all the people in San Diego. Is something that really inspires me.
It does. It does. It does. Look, what he said was not false.
I want to hit him up.
It's a crest. Listen to what he said. It's a crest that represents all the people in San Diego. Literally, the crest with the 18 lines is supposed to represent the 18 countries.
Let's
technically,
hit him up.
Everybody in the county. But that was a really good art piece. And you were
dope.
not the only one that said, change your company, like change your crest. You have time. Like this should have been the crest. And that's kind of like everything that's been here. And I don't think that's gonna end. And I think they're kind of pivoting over to using obviously this crest that they've been rolling out in their profile pictures. Yes, the SD in the middle does look better than the FC because it doesn't make sense with the FC. The color combination is there. Does it still look like RoboCop's anus? That's not for me to decide at all. I could care less. But overall, like, look, there's content that's coming out. Voices of the Comunidad. They're going to they started in the South Bay. Interesting to see what the next rollout of people is going to be and people that they're going to highlight.
The thing is, if they're gonna cover everything, it's exciting to see how they do that because then they have to have some of these videos for the North County of San Diego.
I'm waiting for the video with Brandon and our boy Brandon and Esteban.
Yeah,
like,
that'd be dope.
Hey guys,
that'd be dope for sure.
And be like, sorry guys.
I know Esteban's usually watching, so I mean, let us know if they hit you up.
Look,
I'm sure they've hit you up
I've been
already.
meaning to text them like, hey, I know they're in contact. Well, obviously they're in contact with you.
Yeah.
But like, jump
and
on
why
it.
wouldn't they? I mean, if you guys haven't checked it out, check Esteban's
a lot of
content for sure.
100%.
Check out his content, goalkeeper content, along with Brandon, who they've done so many cool soccer videos already on TikTok and just in general. But definitely check it out, Esteban Toscano and Brandon. But yeah, I mean, MLS is not staying quiet so far. They've been doing little things, dropping videos like this, which I like the title "Voices of the Community." I do like that. I'm not gonna. I mean, we told you guys we always give praise when it's due, and I really do like that. Voices of the Community, cool. Reach out to people that are important to the community.
Credit will be given where credit is due. Exactly. And there you go. You get the credit for that one. Keep it going. There's a lot to discuss. There's a lot to kind of go over. And it's going to be interesting to see exactly how they do it and if they listen to the people in the community who are saying, hey, we need this to change or we need this or that. And that's always kind of the thing that we've talked about, right? Like San Diego's likes to point when things that they don't like, but when you have an opportunity to kind of do input, not the best necessarily of putting input, and then you get this, and then we're like, oh, well, this and this and that. Would it have changed a lot? I don't know. Would it have changed a lot?
Thanks, boys. All I got to say is stay tuned. Yes, that stuff is coming. We know it, man. We
Check
know
out
it.
Brandon.
Good for you.
Check out Esteban. Hell yeah.
You also know that you're not, that you're proud but not loud, Tony?
Look, I mean, that was such a pivot. Why couldn't you say and.
Porque soy cagapalos.
No, not you.
Oh,
just,
ellos.
Yeah, idiot.
Oh. Está la verga.
You're the one who started being aggressive.
Pendejo, yo no.
Yeah, pendejo, you, yes.
Pendejo.
Two eras mucho. Why couldn't it just been loud and proud? It still encapsulates that, like, and, like, why not? Why not? That's why not?
We're proud, way, but we're not bragging, way. That's what they meant, but they could have worded it better. Some people are show-offs. Tony's a show-off. Tony will definitely show off any. What was the promotion for this episode? You stopping some penalties at freaking Torero Stadium.
I don't know. Check it out. I don't know what you're talking about. What was the promotion? Let me see. What's in the old X-verse? Da-da-da-da-da-da.
There was no need for this. Episode 196. Okay. This is not loyal. We're not talking much loyal to everybody.
It's fine. It's a little interactive video that we had.
Context on this. Tony told me, make me look good.
I did not say anything. I did not say anything.
You did tell me that. Stop lying.
Got in your head, boy.
No, you
mental
told.
games.
So I said, I'm going to make you look good in front of all your peeps. The boy like that. Shout out to Josue.
Josue there running right across. He actually just messaged me. He's like, I had no idea you were rolling. I'm like, don't worry. It's all good. You got the money shot. But
boom. That was a good save.
What a great save. I should not be able to do that.
No. ¿Cuánto pesos?
Excuse you?
Un chingo. Like, a man your size should not do that. Like you knew I was shooting that way, too, because I always shoot that way.
Like, the amount of air, it's not an easy, it's a strong shot.
You did get off your line, though.
No, I didn't.
Wait, look at your front foot. What do you mean you didn't get off your line?
No, I moved it back.
Play it.
See, it's too fast. It's too fast.
You're not too fast.
Look at that. I'm too fast.
You got off your line. That would have been
look at that.
taken
Look
back.
That.
Esteban, did he get off his line?
No.
Be honest,
sir.
Esteban. You're a goalkeeper. Did he get off his line?
Sir. No, sir. Look at that.
Following rules that are now. He got off the line on the second one. Yeah, you sure did.
What
get
second
off the line
one?
on
The second one? No,
Yeah.
no kinds. I stayed on my line, actually. Look at that. I am literally on my line.
No, you're in front of the line.
Johnny Richardson there from Everything San Diego. I also stopped a penalty from him, but we'll get that on a later day.
Tony Oswaldo Sanchez.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
What else do we have? I mean, you have Landon on here. You have anything, Landon? Do you have a Landon inside scoop on something, Tony? Is Tony about to break news, guys?
Breaking news on Landon Donovan and the developing story about him joining San Diego Football Club, San Diego FC. It was reported on our Twitterverse with a picture of him answering the question because it was in Spanish. He was asked, hey, if you have any plans to move into or join the MLS team. This was literally after in the press conference, after Loyal lost to Phoenix and were absolutely, left. Oh, look what that did to my boy at Torero. But he said right now, I think they are focused on only on everything outside of the field. If they want to talk, of course, I'm going to listen. But I need a couple of weeks to live with this reality that San Diego Loyal is no more. Fair. People were asking like, well, awful quiet to, be this whole season after he wasn't coach. He was awful quiet. And then out of nowhere, he appears at the end. He's been there. 1, 2. He's been at trainings for most of the time. Like, he's been part of the team. He's been.
He just knows he can't appear in press conferences because why steal the spotlight from Nate and the
team?
It's
not his job. It's not his job to do that. So there was work being done by Landon Donovan in the back, and that's absolutely fair. Say, hey, my commitment, and that's what he always said. My commitment is to this team. Once this team is no more, then that's the reality that it is. So then we can tackle anything else.
Very fair.
Do I think he's going to join? There's going to be talks. More than likely, because again, it seems like if he wants to talk, if they want to talk, he's open to talk. Does that mean that they haven't connected? No. More than likely.
How crucial, and I'll ask you this, how crucial would it be for this team, SDFC, to get Landon on board?
It'd be huge because, obviously you have the recognition of having Landon Donovan now in the MLS through the city that he built something that was incredibly important.
This has been his goal with Soccer City. Like, he wanted to have something in San Diego in MLS. This is a chance to be a part of it. How much control he would get, that's conversations that they'll have on their own. Do you see it though? If you were to give me your percentage,
I mean, it's 75%. If depending if SDFC
75.
brings a good offer on the table, right? Like, what does he want to do? He wants to develop players. Maybe he wants to get involved in that aspect. But they have the right to dream.
Would it be a mistake
model.
to not have him?
I think it would be a mistake to not do everything in your power to try to get him on board.
Okay.
Does this mean, again, that they weren't in contact before? They probably were in contact, but at this point, it's like, it's not going to work. But again, Landon, if he wants to play, if he wants to participate in terms of like academy and growing players, that'll be interesting. Again, because of the right to dream model, they have their own personnel, they have their own mentality, they have their own everything. So everything's kind of in-house. Is he going to be a head coach? I don't think so. I don't think that's going to be his position. An ambassador, a brand ambassador, a community person.
I think he knows he's not meant to be a coach.
Not a head coach, at least. Like, he can be a mentor.
Or
he
an
can
assistant.
be a.
I think he would be a great scout. Despite a player that he brought over to Loyal last season, but
I don't know, 2 seasons ago. But it'll be interesting to see exactly what the maneuver is at that point. It was interesting. It was good. It was cool because at the end, after that press conference, actually, as he walked off, I caught up with him, like shook his hand, gave me a hug, gave each other a hug, and said, "Hey, dude, like, thank you for everything that you've done on the hard work that you put into the city to bring soccer here. It's meant a lot to the people here. It's meant a lot to me."
You risked them up.
Hella riz, bro. Bro, do you know do you not know what I'm called, bro? Tony, the Riz. Oh, wow.
Riz master.
Yes, the Riz
Rizzler.
Rizzle me this. That's so stupid.
Oh my God, we're fucking old.
But
that word should not come out of our mouth.
But he was like, no, like, it's like, no, thank you, Tone. Calls me Tone. Like, oh, thank you, Tone. Like, it's not just the work that I did; it's the work that you guys all did, and the work that we all did together to this and this and that, and some other words. But then
you shot your shot. Too.
Shot the shot. Got the digits.
Nothing but net.
Wet. Just
somos unos pendejos.
100%.
All right.
Robert saying MLS is Landon's baby. He gave his career trying to make the MLS a big-time league. I wouldn't be surprised if he joins. And do you blame him? And
do you get mad? If you're fans of Loyal and you're very anti, do you get mad at Landon for hopping over? You're not mad at Ricardo, right? The man still has to get a job.
Mm-hmm.
Landon is kind of set for life already.
Yeah, and
do you get mad at him?
I do think that he has his sights and pursuits on continuing to do media stuff, and the Fox in the World Cup was really good for him, and it's a pretty penny for doing something that you love, right? You get watching the World Cup, like, fuck, we're doing this shit for free. But if that's going to be something that he does he take a smaller role in whatever this is going to be? Does he have the chance and opportunity to go and move up to LA? He's not going to move from San Diego. No, his family is here, and his family loves it. He loves it, but his family loves it here. So that's probably why it's not going to happen. But that doesn't get out of the question that, he's just going to commute to LA.
A person of that high profile should know that you need to live in the most expensive city in the U.S. And that's San Diego.
Heck yeah, bro.
Imagine financially we would make it anywhere else just fine. But anyways, let's talk about the biggest news in the San Diego soccer world, shall we? Mm-hmm. And that is Albion San Diego going into the NISA semifinals, playing the quarterfinals here at home at Canyon Crest Academy, going into extra time, winning it in penalties. Absolute scenes that we saw from Canyon Crest Academy. Mm-hmm. You got called out on Twitter.
Yeah, we did. As people were starting to roll in with
wait. We did get called out, I guess, but you kind of started it.
So yeah, I mean, the discussion came up of, like, we actually have, if people paid attention to these episodes and listen intently, we do talk about San Diego Albion San Diego. We have, and not just in a tongue-in-cheek kind of way, because granted, that's happened as well, and that's something that's been part of it, and to be completely honest, the bandwidth just isn't there. we've reached out before when it was 1904. We spoke to Coach Alex Gontran and captain at the time, Ozzy Ramos. They were on the show. They were part of it. And, that 1904 team kind of went its own direction. And then Albion came up and now it's Albion. It's same people who are working structure-wise. And we reached out once it was Albion, and to be completely honest, we received radio silence. We've asked for even just the media blast or just anything. We don't receive any of that, right? So it's kind of difficult to necessarily have intense coverage of and good coverage that a team deserves, right? Because we can go ahead and talk about it. We can go ahead and do that, but I'm not going to be necessarily doing the best job where somebody like Mary Beth and Hector, who are the commentators, they on themselves do cover the team, and they do a good job. You have a diehard with Chileno who's over there. So there's people who have been part of this project and program, blood, sweat, and tears, and everything. But at the same time, I will pick up what gets put down, and that's it. And if we're gonna be kind of shown a certain hand and certain face, then that's kind of the reality of things. Perception is reality, and if you guys don't really want it, then that's the reality of it, and that's fine. However, they're still a team. They're still a professional team. When they went over and lost in the championship last time, we covered it, revving it up. There's been times where we've talked about, even this season, right? They had a playoff match that had some controversy in it, where a player got concussed. The game was stopped for like 20 minutes mid-game. There was confusion, chaos everywhere, and Albion didn't necessarily look the best after it. But again, it's these half facts, because we get it, because we know somebody. We sit next to somebody who knows somebody who is
part of the coaching
staff of Albion. So we see this person every day, and so we get an insight into this. And so it's not right to necessarily do that. However, look, they made it into the semifinals once again. In the quarterfinals, they played against Maryland. Maryland coming to Canyon Crest Academy, a 4-hour showdown, 0-0. The game was great. The last time I actually legitimately watched Albion intently was in the Open Cup game in person. And the one thing that I took away from that match was, hey, this Ben Roach guy is pretty good.
That was also their first game in the whole season.
The first game of the whole season. No preseason, nothing. That was first game.
We got called out saying that one time we did cover them was their home opener lost. Then we did mention that, and then we kind of just didn't mention Albion again. To me personally, the reason why I don't cover much of Albion, I haven't seen them do any community work. Their social media doesn't appeal to me where they're going out in the community and doing this. Maybe they don't have the staffing. Maybe they don't have the budget to do stuff like that. But you can easily hit up Hector, and he'll go to the streets and record some videos and say, hey, man, like, here, win some tickets to the next Albion game, or something like that. Some sort of content where you're going to bring in an audience. The way they've gone about it does not appeal to me. That doesn't discredit the fact that, yes, they are in a semifinal. They could potentially also bring a championship to San Diego.
Yeah.
But to me personally, to know that it's not like Loyal where they've gone out and made partnerships and connections with communities and stuff like that.
And if it is, I'd love to hear about it.
And if there is, please
let us
post
know.
it. Let us know. Send emails. We've reached out and we've gotten nothing. So it is what it is. Congrats on reaching the semifinals.
And this is how they did it. Look, it's part of it, right? Like they reached the semifinals. They were in a tight 0-0 game. The game was pretty good. Went back and watched it. It was a pretty good game. And it all went down to the last kick. Not this one.
Got a hand on it. Yes. Oh. Had enough backsman. That almost reminded me of the.
It was Roach. Who again, playing really well. Like, I saw this guy play live. I'm like, wow, this is very interesting. Hector Trujillo there on the call. Great penalty.
The goalkeeper, Sutton. Some
It's not dead at this point.
It's goalkeeper versus goalkeeper violence here.
Ben Roach, goalkeeper versus goalkeeper. The shot, and Ben Roach saves it. It's over. It's over. Albion San Diego. Ben Roach, the brick wall. Madre mia, what a save! They go to the semifinals.
Ben, don't do this. Eat shit.
Dog. Oh my gosh. I got to say, I'm so glad this is over.
You see Cowboy there, staple of San Diego soccer. And then what you see here's a reflection of what? Hard work, right? This is a full season.
Yeah.
This is still a team that has to do this day in, day out and get rewarded for it. They're going to go into the semifinals. They beat Maryland 8-7. They will face the Michigan Stars, who they have been playing throughout the season. And Albion's been playing well, been playing really well. This could potentially be this is going to be the last game at home in San Diego. Canyon Crest Academy.
Yeah, Michigan Stars finished second in the season. So the other semifinal, I believe, is going to be Chattanooga against Flower City Union. Flower City Union, who kind of upset going into the semifinal as the 6th seed. But it's most likely going to be Chattanooga from that side. And whether it's Michigan Stars or Albion San Diego, that game will be in Chattanooga. But yeah, I mean, good luck to San Diego. Bring home a championship. Get on to the final. You've been in the championship last season. So they know what they're doing in the NISA League, and shout out to them.
And gosh dang it, this is what I'm talking about. Saturday was quite the start into the NWSL playoffs. Next step, semifinals on Saturday at Romeo Stadium. Right, Romeo Stadium. What does that say?
Maryland Bobcats.
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 It was 9 hours ago. Like, help me help you. Help me help you. It's just easy. It's just help me help you. And we'll be good. We'll be fine. I appreciate what the soccer community has done. Still a professional team here in San Diego, 3rd Division NISA. And a lot of hardworking people, a lot of hardworking individuals. We know some of these hardworking individuals, but help me help you. Thank you.
Yeah, so good luck to them. And now to kind of wrap up the show, talking about another local professional soccer team, an indoor team.
Oh, yeah.
San Diego Sockers. Tony, you have some kind of news to drop here.
So the news that I was going to share with everybody here, it is pretty annoying, by the way, to trying to find games. Albion strikes me as just wanting to run its youth teams, nothing else around the community.
And that's fair. And that's what Albion does.
That's fair. Like it is what it is. Like it's internal. Like they handle things inside, and that's the academy base. Like,
but don't be upset when you don't get the coverage.
100%. But in any case, San Diego Soccer. So the San Diego Sockers, your most winningest soccer team here in San Diego. We'll have the final season played at Pechanga Arena. Front Wave Arena is going to be up north in Oceanside, but this will for real, will be the final season at Pechanga Arena. And so just with the way things are happening, and obviously people know that the boy Jerry Jimenez, San Gerardo, has moved on to pastures that are chrome and azul. So congratulations to him. Obviously, that's going to be a huge endeavor for him at SDFC. So in that case, I've accepted a position in order to slide in to be alongside the great and powerful Craig Elston for Soccer's Overtime as a co-host and producer of Soccer's Overtime. So that's going to be coming down rather soon, actually. So check all the San Diego Soccer social media and outlets, Twitter, Instagram, San Diego Soccers.
But wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more. Hi, Billy Mays here. There is more because on that contract that I signed a contract. It was a contract signing. It felt so cool. I will also now be, for this season moving on, the color commentator for every home game for the San Diego Sockers.
Our very own
season.
Tony Sanchez, ladies and gentlemen.
Alongside Craig Elston, every game with Craig Elston in the booth for San Diego Sockers. And look, again, transparency.
Wait,
we're transparency.
What about Spanish commentary? There won't be Spanish commentary this season, guys.
Sorry, Chiva. Chiva will not be involved with San Diego Sockers. I tried.
I will not be involved. They did not want the talented, the controversial Chiva alongside. I tend to ruffle some feathers, so I won't be partaking on any employment with the San Diego Sockers this season. Unfortunately, I didn't make the cut, and it is what it is. I'll still go to some games, but this means I will most likely be covering Albion San Diego. No, I for sure will be doing more of the SD Inter games, if any of their games for that.
Yeah, people asking for coverage. SD Internacional, waiting for the SD Internacional talk.
Unfortunately, we won't be able to make their last home game of the season due to the game being at the same time as the NWSL Championship.
We should probably tell them that.
Yeah, I will. It's not November yet, so I'll let them know tomorrow.
November is literally.
It's November 11th, which is a special day for you as well, so you won't be able to be there. So,
but
never forget. That's the wrong one.
That's the wrong one.
But yeah, congrats, man. I'm happy for you. And it just means more work for you. But
yeah, I mean, it is what it is. And it's going to be really interesting. And I'm really, really happy that I'm able to help the San Diego soccer scene in some sort of way, in a professional way. And you know what? San Diego Soccer is an opportunity. I want to thank everybody who's held this position and has put the bar so high up, in the form of Jerry Jimenez and Nate Aburrea. So it's going to be, I'm not going to try to fill any type of shoes. I'm going to try to make my own shoes in my own way there. But at the same time, want to make sure that it's done in a fantastically great way. So to be completely honest, anybody who's listening at this point, be a friend, tell a friend, we need butts and seats. And again, full transparency, like whenever it happens, like,
not you trying to just sell tickets right now for your new job. Cool.
No, like
I'm just kidding, man. Definitely go out there. Definitely go out there.
I will be paid whatever I'm going to be paid, regardless of a sellout or not, like at Pechanga, right? So it'd be good to see that. And that's all I say, because it's an opportunity for a lot of this soccer community that has a void and a hole with San Diego Loyal, to be able to fill it with something that's organic, that's been here, and it's almost natural. It's second nature to be with these people. The Chavos have their ¿cómo se llama?
Los Brujos.
They have the Brujos with them, and they're part of that storyline now, right? Adrian does a really good thing there. I invite anybody, Riptides, Brujos, Sirens.
Locals, y'all are still out there.
Locals are still there. Like, use this as a venture of exploration to get a catalyst for you to really channel your energy into this. There's a lot of people who, again, like, man, like, I don't know what's gonna happen with LAFC comes into town, with this new MLS team, with this and this and that, like. This is the perfect place to really hone the skills as a supporter group. Guess what? San Diego Sockers have San Diego in the name. Dale San Diego works just as fucking well.
Definitely help out better at Pechanga.
It works just as fucking well at Pechanga. The acoustics are there. Like, we're not. But you can go in and really make some noise and really make a change. And if you want to make that the drum circle, go for it. Because then when it comes down to SDFC and I hear that section, with the same 3 songs over and over again, you have time. There's enough time to get everybody's ducks in a row. And this can potentially be a perfect venue to go ahead and do that. I also invite people to go to SD Internacional. Go ahead and do that. In an outdoor setting, go fill up Mission Bay High School. Like, come together and really be about it. And do not make some of the mistakes, because as great as it was, 109 for the San Diego Loyal did have, some hiccups here and there. And there things that could have been tightened up with a little bit more practice, with a little bit more cohesion. And again, this is an opportunity to do that. If you don't want to go support that, that's fine. Go watch a game. Yeah. Again, it's not la pinche baba de perico that I'm gonna get to get paid. El pinche pelo de rana calva that's gonna be my check. Whatever is I don't care. Like, it's not about it.
Okay, dámelo.
Oh yeah, you do the work, yeah.
Sí.
Cabrón. But yeah, thank you everybody who's saying congratulations, Steve, Bolita. Thank you, Esteban, Sub David, coming in here. But yeah, that's part of it, and that's part of the story that we're now in. Soccer in San Diego is going to be really interesting, really cool. And overall, it'll be a venture, and I hope people can come over with us and with me and really, really be about it, right? Los Brujos are there. It's going to be the same team with us. It's going to be a lot of people. The one thing that I need to figure out, because this cannot, look, I'm a generous guy, Chiba. You never scored on me in open play at the sports arena.
Me la pelas, güey.
You had 2 chances. I gave you one, and you still couldn't do it. You still couldn't. You hit the crossbar, and I was like, okay. And then the guy from KUSI was going to header it in. I had to do an amazing save just because it's not. I wanted you to score, not him. Just you. I don't know if you're going to get that chance this year, man, because I'm going to be up in the booth. I'm going to be, just concentrating and to halftime to go from up there to down there. It's a lot. It's a lot. And to be an MVP again and not to let you score and I don't know how that's going to work. I'll have to ask my boss, Craig Elston, to see if that's possible.
Your boss.
Yes, we can still take it.
Hopefully they have a media game again, but that's pretty much what we have.
I think it's on the schedule. So yeah.
Oh, sick.
I look forward to today's several games this upcoming season, and that's fine. That's really cool. Everybody, come on down. Don't be a stranger. Be a friend. Tell a friend.
Guys, hit us up on social media. Let us know. We're approaching our 200th episode in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Let us know what we should do. We're trying to have something special for everyone. Let us know. Give us ideas. It's crazy that we're about to reach 200 episodes. But yeah, man, we're here ruffling feathers in the U.S. Women's National Team and everything in San Diego when it comes to soccer. So thank you guys for watching this episode.
People are asking for Chiba to be on the drums. He's been in this section. He's been part of the Brujos. He's been about it. You be about it. Everybody be about it. Thank you for joining us. Episode 196. San Diego Punto Football.
Have a good night, guys.
Forever.